real life coronavirus update or COVID-19 update live from India. Crazy things are going on here and in Qatar. So we wanted to give you a first-hand information on what's been happening. So we have been traveling through India for the past 13 or so days. We have now arrived in Goa, and we have covered Rajasthan, Delhi, and Agra. So different things have been happening as the time has gone on. Things have gotten progressively more intense, and more checkpoints and stuff have been set up. So as we sit in Goa here right now, we have a flight out tomorrow on Qatar Airlines. It is flying through Doha before reaching JFK. So as of right now, or maybe as of about 12 hours ago, there was some information on the news that I saw that Qatar Airlines has restricted all air travel, or actually restricted passengers from exiting the airport in any way, shape, or form that are not just tourists but residents that are non-Qatari like citizens, and any visa holders for 14 countries. One of those countries is India. So being that we are traveling from Goa to Doha to JFK, we are unable to exit the airport, which we have a very long layover, because originally when we booked the ticket, they encourage you to do stopovers in Goa and experience the city, and stopovers in Doha and experience the city. And so we decided to do that. We have a hotel booked there, we had some activities booked, and I've spoken to the airline, and in fact we are not allowed to leave the airport. And in order to change our ticket for a earlier flight that just has a 3-hour layover, it's like thousands of dollars. Like, there's not even right now, so they do have seats available, but they won't even change our seats for us. Like, they're still sticking to the, no, we're charging you a huge amount of money to change your ticket, which is completely ridiculous. I can understand if all their flights were booked and we can't do it. So I should jump in here and say the airline that we're flying is Qatar Airlines, and we are flying business class, specifically suite class. So it's not like we have cheap tickets. I mean, they're expensive tickets, and I would think it carries some weight in, value that we should be able to make some kind of change. So the person that I talked to on the phone, he said, well, if you would have changed it 3 days ago due to the virus, then we would have been able to do it without a change fee. And he said, well, unfortunately, I only found out a day ago about the 14 countries that they have now restricted being able to access the country. They've added the United States, which I didn't see that online. It wasn't part of the 14, but he said, even if you were coming from the US, you wouldn't be able to access Qatar either, which it's not listed there. So it's not listed on their list of 14 countries. So everything is a little weird, that not everything is kind of straightforward or noted in their press releases and stuff. So he said, so I said, well, if you only found out a day ago, and it was only on the news a day ago, how would I have known 3 days ago that I should be changing my ticket? Like, you only found out a day ago. And the other thing I had mentioned to him, I said, and it's not even like they said 3 days ago, they could have emailed and said, look, here's your options. You can change it if you want to, and there's going to be no change fee, which we might have done that. But, and he's like, I don't know. I don't work in the Doha office, but I don't know why, they didn't send you an email. Like, zero communication from Qatar Airways that all of this is changing. and not even an email telling us like, hey, you're not going to be able to leave the airport. You're going to need to sit there for your 20-hour layover in the airport. Granted, it is a very nice business class lounge. There is nicer lounges in the airport. So I said, well, can we have access to the first class lounge since you're making us stay in the airport? Which is fine. You don't want us entering your country if we're coming from certain countries because of you're afraid of the coronavirus. And I understand that. But I'd also like to get back home too. So I don't understand why you can't change the flight or at least make my stay in your country, which is in just your airport, more comfortable. So
wait, I need to make an interruption here. So I think the message is, though, that they could change the flight easily, but they just want to make money on this disaster.
Yes, totally.
So there's a biological disaster going on all over the world, and they're holding us hostage for $2,000 if we want to not hang out in the airport for 20 hours, just so they can make money. Those flights are going to leave empty.
Yeah, because he told me, he's like, yeah, okay, because he before I said I wasn't going to, like, I just presented it like, you know, well, can we change the flight? He's like, oh, yes, okay, yeah, we have a flight that's only got a 3-hour layover. Yeah, we got some seats for you. And I said, so there's no change fee, right, or anything like that? And he goes, oh, no, of course there's a change fee. I'm like, what? I said, even with this, like, going on, you're going to charge me a change fee? Like, how does that even make sense? How does it even, like, logical that you would do that to somebody? Like, doesn't make sense to me. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you say, no, okay, let's get you out of here, get you home? No, they want to charge us thousands of dollars.
And there are absolutely no concessions, right? They're going to do nothing for us while we're there.
Nope.
There's no,
sit in the airport.
There's no like hotel that they'll put you in for.
No, because that means you have to leave the airport. Nope, no hotel.
So so it's kind of crappy by Qatar Airlines. I think.
Totally crappy by Qatar Airlines with respect to coronavirus in India. They have started about, I guess, 3 days ago. We were at one of the forts in Jodhpur, and without notice, they set up little booths at the entrance to the fort, and they have all of the foreigners lined up, and they have to get checked for coronavirus. All the locals just walk in. I'm not sure why do they think the locals won't get it? I don't really. Exactly. So they won't check the locals who are clearly there with foreigners and next to them, but they don't check them. So the foreigners have to line up in like an hour wait because the line is crazy.
And so what did we decide to do?
So we decided to leave because we only had a couple hours before we had to leave to head to our next hotel. So we decided to leave. And
we also just thought it was a bad idea to be in a queue of hundreds of foreigners.
Yes, of course.
Just as from a health perspective, like this was not where we wanted to be.
No.
We've been very careful.
We've been like avoiding like any kinds of places that have a lot of people. I mean, literally hand sanitizer that I brought with me. I'm glad that I brought extra because they're out here of hand sanitizer. They're down to using rubbing alcohol straight out of the bottle everywhere. So we decided, I'm like, why are we standing in line with all these people? If they think somebody has it, I don't want to be in line with them. So we left, and then there was another temple that we went to the following day. It also had, there wasn't a line because we happened to arrive after a couple busloads of people were there, but you couldn't tell that until you actually got into the parking lot. So they have you come to this little booth at the entrance with your passport, and we had to have our driver come with us. So the driver came, they asked the driver, have they shown any symptoms? And he's like, no. And then they write down your passport number. And now it was only my passport number and the driver's license plate number and his name and stuff. They don't do any scan of you or anything like that. I'm assuming it's like if something, they do find people that have it, then they will, be able to contact these people. It's the only thing I can think of that why they would take that information down, that they know who's been there. So if some person comes down with it, they know all the people that have been at that, temple kind of thing.
And meanwhile, the guy doing the checking has like a mask on and a surgical suit on, latex gloves, and he's just touching everything, handing everybody passports. He's not changing the gloves. He's just whatever's on his gloves, he's just passing it to everybody who he comes in contact with.
Right, and we said, why are you not changing your... again, the whole... they don't understand, the procedures in which you need to follow to keep yourself protected from the coronavirus and spreading it to other people. So he's touched everybody's passports with the same gloves. And does he think so? His hands are fine because he takes off his gloves, and who knows if
spreading whatever he's got to everybody else.
So how is that? So and again, we didn't go into the temple because it's again a line to get into the temple, and we don't want to stand in line with a whole bunch of people. So we've kind of been avoiding that. So anyways, we're here in Goa. We're staying at the Aliyah Diwa. It is a beautiful hotel, and we will give you a review of the hotel to follow, and then we will also update you on what's going on in Qatar once we arrive there, so you kind of know the status of things in Qatar, and anything else that goes on once we enter the airport again in Goa. So that's it for now. We'll keep you updated.